Thank you for joining this evening. My name is Mike Batt. I'm with Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. I have a few co-workers, co-peers here, and we're going to be representing the whole region. So, again, I'm with Fairfax County, but we're going to have a discussion and give you some resources that really support the whole Northern Virginia region, from Prince William County, Loudoun County, into Arlington and Alexandria as well. So, appreciate you joining us, and hopefully we provide some content that's relevant for you, that really helps from a job seeker standpoint. And then even if there's company representatives on, we can talk to that as well. So I'll just start by saying that we appreciate you taking the time. We hope that this is going to be informative for you. If you're looking for a job, know that we across Northern Virginia and our jurisdictions here and the resources we're going to share now, we're here to help. We have resources. There are lots of jobs out there that we can help connect you to. And hopefully the conversation we'll have here, just for probably 30 minutes or so, will help you identify those, prepare for those, and identify opportunities for yourself. So I am with Fairfax County, as I noted. I lead our talent programming, workforce programming for our Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. I'll just note I'm a lifelong resident here in the region. I grew up here because my father spent 25 years working for the federal government. And then I stayed here in the region and spent a career for 30 years in the technology industry, working for a large corporation. And our customer base and partners that I had my entire 30 years were the federal government, state and local government as well. So I understand this world. If you happen to be affected by any of the federal changes or government contractor, or if not, just know that what we're going to share can support everybody. But just know we're here to help those that are affected too. I'm going to share some of a website that we have and some resources, and then my peers here will share some specific opportunities for you to engage virtually or in person for workforce tools as well. But we have a site, workinnorthernvirginia.com, that I'll show you here, and we'll walk through, that has 82,000 plus jobs on it right now. So there are a lot of jobs out here available for all of us in this region, and I want to make sure that we help you identify those and be prepared to have the discussions with hiring managers or recruiters in that process. So workinnorthernvirginia.com. Let me go ahead and just share my desktop. I'm going to back out of this for a second and bring that site up. So you'll see up at the top, it shows workinffxnova.com. You can get to it that way, or workinnorthernvirginia.com. But I just want to note that this is a site that we launched a while ago, and it has, through a service we subscribe to, all publicly posted internships and jobs that are across our region, from Prince William County, Loudoun County, Fairfax County, Arlington, Alexandria, and all the jurisdictions, cities in those counties. There are, I'll just look right now, over 82,000 posted current. So what I wanted to do is I'll just give a quick demo on some quick ways you can search for different opportunities. Then I'll provide some tips and tricks. I'll ask Kellen and David here to share more on resources, and then we'll see if you have any questions. We're gonna you can ask any questions in the chat window, and we'll try to answer those this evening for you. If not, we'll be glad to follow up. So Work in FFX Nova or workinnorthernvirginia.com takes you to the same site. A couple of different ways that you can look for those 82,000 jobs. Click on Find a Job right out of the gate. Two things I'll just point out. If you are coming into the to looking for a job and do not have the 4-year degree, you can, if you are skilled through alternative ways and you're a star. We partner with an organization, Opportunity at Work. They have a lot of great resources and programs from companies that hire those skilled through alternative routes, stars. Might come from the military, might have certifications, might have worked for 20 years. Those are stars. So know that that's there for you. If you come with a security clearance, clearancejobs.com. Here's filtered down to Northern Virginia, over 11,000 cleared jobs directly on that site. You go apply directly to those companies. And then again, through our site, workinnorthernvirginia.com, all of those 82,000 plus jobs, do a search on keyword. If you're, financial analyst, there's 473 jobs openings right now. What's nice about this, again, you can go to Indeed, you could go to LinkedIn, you can go to different sites, but this is a great resource, we think, that brings everything together, consolidated in one site. So this brings them all together from anywhere that they're publicly posted. And then you can see with this particular job search, financial analyst, 473 results. First one's Amazon, Navy Federal. There's lots of different organizations, different type of organizations you might have interest in working for. You click apply, and it takes you directly to where it was posted. So this takes you right to Amazon to go apply. So this, again, it's just a tool to help you reach the locations quicker. And you could search by company name. I'll just, MITRE, 220 jobs, lots of different types of jobs, group leader, cloud data engineer. So you'll see lots of things out there. We're talking to, and I'll touch on it here in a second, but top of mind for those interested in the Amazon world, we have them participating in military career fair coming up, networking career fair. I looked at this afternoon. They do so many different things. 1,700 jobs open right now at Amazon. Amazon Web Services, Amazon HQ2, any type of job you can think of here. And that's just Northern Virginia. So there are lots of opportunities out there across the board. So you can search by keyword search, by job title. You can search by company, or just scroll down and you can search by industries. Aerospace and defense, there's 44,000. You can just scroll through, and again, you see one, you click on it, go apply directly to that organization. So moving on, career resources. I'll just note that if you happen to be in a position and interested in starting a new company because of where you are in your career and phase in life, know that we've been doing this a long time. But we happen to have one coming up on March 11th, Entrepreneurship 101, starting a business, Fairfax County. That can be relevant across other areas as well in the region, but we bring in the Small Business Administration. We bring in mentors. We bring in organizations that help you understand what you need to do to get the business license and how to start a business. So just know that's an option as well. So workinnorthernvirginia.com events, career resources. Again, lots of information on entrepreneurships and startups, lots of information on upskilling. If you say, hey, I just want to go back and maybe get a new certification so that I can go look for and shift my career to a different type of job, and you want to skill or you want to get a certification or a degree in cyber and AI, some of the new things. Aerospace is becoming huge in this region. Aerospace, and it's not just being an astronaut and going to space. There are so many jobs around policy, around legal, around all kinds of things in aerospace. So lots of things that you can go potentially get reskilled on that are out there as well. So encourage you to really study the site. I will shift back out now and stop sharing. And I want to note that I'm going to go back to the slides here. You might have seen this week too that the state has launched a new site as well. Virginia has jobs. So I noted 80,000+ jobs here in Northern Virginia. We want you to stay here in Northern Virginia. There's a great opportunity in Northern Virginia, but if not, we want you to stay in the state. So Virginia has jobs is out there as well. And so you can go to that site and search for public or private jobs. That's sorting in different ways. There's lots of different resources on that site as well. And if you look at the right side of that slide, note that the state, Commonwealth of Virginia, and we're promoting it to all of our companies, is hosting a virtual career fair next week on Wednesday, March 5th from 10 to 3. So you can go to that site through ours. It's out on our site, or just go to the virginiahasjobs.com and you can click on that virtual career fair on Wednesday from 10 to 3 and chat with organizations that are hiring from across the state, 250,000 jobs. So we have lots of jobs here in the county, the region of Northern Virginia, and the Commonwealth. And want to make sure you're aware and that you know that we have opportunities for you across the region. So let me talk a little bit now on just tips for successful job searches. If you have not been out there, looking for a job in quite some time, as I noted, I spent many years in the corporate world as a director level, managing lots of people, hiring, multiple levels for a large corporation. And then we also, because of my role, I lead talent workforce programming for Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. We work with thousands of companies and their recruiters, and we hear what they're looking for. We hear what they want to know from you. And these are some tips. And know that when I turn it over here to Kellen and David in a minute, they're going to go deeper and also provide resources for you to go into workforce centers to actually go much more in depth to get some advice and expertise in this area. But a couple of just high levels for now to be thinking about, so you can start updating your resume if you haven't in a while. Try to keep it to 1 or 2 pages first and foremost. You might be used to, and I know in the federal government, sometimes they're longer and more in depth, but here, depending on your work experience, try to keep it to 1 or 2 pages. Try to simplify the terms and put them into corporate terms versus government. For example, project manager versus project officer. Another thing that I think is really critical is impact versus activity. So if you have bullets on there on your jobs and titles or particular jobs you've had, if you're explaining in a bullet point what you did, explain what that impact was. That's critical in having the conversation from an informational standpoint and interviewing. So I developed a budget, and here was the outcome of that budget, for example. Another point is keywords that you want to make sure you have on there. Artificial intelligence and AI now, I'll tell you what, we learn more from our companies every day and from what we're hearing and seeing out there. We have a lot of our companies here in this region, they'll receive 10,000+ resumes a year. They're not looking at paper resumes anymore. They're taking them, they're scanning them into their applicant tracking systems that really use artificial intelligence to screen and look for keywords. So be thinking about impactful keywords in your resume that you want to put in there, that you did data analysis, managed teams, those of you on the call that have security clearances, you know those are gold. They're our companies here, government contractors. They need security clearances. I just showed you there was 12 or 13,000 right now out there through clearancejobs.com. But if you do not have a security clearance and you see a job that requires one, but you meet every other requirement that they're looking for on that the job requirements with all the other things that you bring to the table, put in your resume. That'll be screened. They'll see it. Security clearance. That'll be tagged eligible, meaning I don't have a record. I don't do drugs. I'm clean. I can get a clearance. Just sponsor me, and you sell yourself to say I meet all the requirements. I'm security clearance eligible. So put that in your resume. Lastly, for here, identify a champion or coach in a company you're interested in working for. Networking and finding a champ is so critical these days because, again, of the technology that's leveraging the tools for screening applicants. So having a champion inside an organization that can help you maneuver through the recruiting process, through recruiters, through understanding how things work internal to an organization. Important to network in this community, in the region. Leverage LinkedIn. I've done it before. I recommend it to others. If you don't have someone, if you can't find someone you know, go onto LinkedIn. If you found a company you want to work for and applied, go into LinkedIn and type that company name with the job title. Names will pop up. Go see if you can connect with them and tell them you've applied and you want to you for a very similar role and want to see if they'll if you can network for a few minutes. So after that, next step would be starting to have those informational conversations and interviews. So a couple key things to be thinking about there is making sure you're prepared for that conversation when you get that opportunity to talk to. It could be even somebody you identified, as I just noted, on LinkedIn, or an informational interview with a recruiter. You want to be able to tell them right out of the gate, I want to work for your organization because I've done my homework and I see that you have an amazing culture. Share examples. I see the companies and the partner organizations you work with, the programs you have that you pursue, your contracts, and really show them you've done your homework on why you want to work for that company, and then why you. Tell them why you bring the expertise to the table. I have the policy knowledge. I have the experience that matches that job that I applied for in your company. I bring the cross-group collaboration, or I work well across organizations because no different than federal government or government contractors, anybody, lots of silos. Show that you can work well across those organizations. A few things just to don't bring up right out of the gate. You're going to have that conversation once it comes time to receiving an offer, well down the path of interviewing, but right out of the gate, you want to stay away from things like, does this job offer remote work? What's the compensation package? Keep that for a later conversation down the path. All right, let me just shift gears here and we'll keep things moving. If you are in the military connected community, if you're a veteran, a military spouse, family members, we have a really tight community of Total Military Community Alliance partners where we're working with nonprofits, we're working with all the military installations, we're working with organizations hire our heroes, hire vets now. You can see just a quick glance of a lot of networking and job fairs that are coming up across Quantico, Fort Myer, Fort Belvoir, where we have lots of our companies that are hiring that will be at these events. So please engage with that community as well. So let's move on here. Let me introduce Kellen Graves and share some additional job resources that are available through our county and through our region. Kellen Graves is a supervisor with the Fairfax County Employment Services Division, representing all of Northern Virginia in our workforce center. So I want to turn it over to Kellen to share a little bit more.
All right. Thank you, Mike, for the introduction. Again, my name is Kellen Graves, and I am the Employer Engagement Supervisor with Fairfax County Department of Family Services. And today I just want to quickly go over a service for any of our job seekers in Northern Virginia. And that service is that resource is our employment centers. And when I say all of Northern Virginia, that's all the way from Prince William County to Loudoun County and Fairfax County and all the cities and counties in between. And the services for job seekers. And when I say job seekers, that could look different. I mean, that could be someone who just graduated from college and is not sure what their first step needs to be with their career and needs some assistance with that. Or that could be someone who's been in the same career, maybe about 10 or 15 years. Maybe they're looking for something a little bit more rewarding and they're trying to go into a different industry and make that shift, but just needs a little assistance on what that will look like. And it could be someone who's been working for the federal government for the past 25, 30 years. And maybe it's a little nervous about the current climate and what's going on with some of these massive layoffs. Or maybe you have experienced layoffs, so you need some help with the next steps in your life. So regardless of your situation, these employment centers are great resources to help you start that search. So today, again, like I said, I want to quickly go over some of the services that we offer at these centers. I want you to keep in mind that majority of these services that I'm going to talk about can be delivered virtually or in person. Of course, we want you to come into our centers so you can get the full experience, but we know that sometimes everyone's situation is not the same, so virtually might work better. So that is an option for most of these services. So I will start off with the first one, which is targeted resume writing. Kind of just going back to what Mike was saying about being intentional when reaching out to employers or applying for jobs. So making sure that we tailor your resume to the specific jobs that you're applying to. So when Mike was talking about using those buzzwords, because AI, a lot of times they just put that stuff in the machine and they're pulling up those keywords. We want to make sure that we're pulling those words from some of your previous jobs and making sure that it gets on the resume. So you'll have a staff member who actually helps you, assist you through that process. Transferable skills. Again, if you've been working the same job for 20, 30 something years, and you're thinking, oh, I can't do these new jobs that are out there. Well, maybe it's just we need to word it a little differently, right? Leadership, teamwork, I'm sure we've all done that in our positions. So just being able to pull that out and putting it on the resume. So when you're applying for some of these new jobs that are out there. So that's one of the services we provide. Another one is interview preparation workshops. Again, going back to if you've been working the same job 10, 20 years, you probably haven't been on an interview lately. And there's a lot of changes that have occurred since I guess, COVID, post-COVID with these virtual interviews and some employers are doing recording interviews. So instead of you trying to navigate that on your own, the Employment Center staff will be able to help you through that. Also, you're learning in a setting with your colleagues and your peers. So again, you're not doing it on your own and you're leaning on other people. And you're learning together, and you can take some of the triumphs and the challenges that you've done and share that with your peers, and they will do the same thing, vice versa, and you guys kind of learn from that in that type of environment. The next one of the services we offer is career coaching. Like the example I was given, if you just graduated and you're not sure what the next step is, come into our center, have someone kind of start that process with you. Maybe we need to start off with a career assessment to figure out what jobs are out there that match with your current skills. So again, the key word right here that we're talking about is leaning on support and not trying to do things on your own. And that's what our centers focus on, is that team approach. Next is targeted job lead assistance. When you come into our centers, one of the first things you'll see is job leads posted out throughout the center. And those job leads get updated weekly, in some cases daily. But you might come in there and you look on the board and say, I'm not interested in any of these jobs, or this isn't what I'm looking for. That's fine. Our center team will still work with you. So no one's going to turn you away and say, hey, you come back next week when we have jobs and maybe you'll find something there. We'll actually sit down with you, do a career assessment, figure out where we need to go as far as employment. Do we need training? Can we go straight into employment? Maybe we need to use a work-based learning opportunity so you get training on the job. So again, with that target approach. So we're focusing on your skills, on what's currently out there, and trying to make those matches. And then lastly, one of the services is that you're getting ongoing support. You might come into our center, work with our staff, apply for some positions, and get a job right off the bat, right? Your first go around. But you might try once, not get the job, might try twice, might visit the center 3, 4, or 5 times. However many times it might take you to get the job, we'll be there along the way to support you. Also, if you get the job, right, one of the challenges sometimes is not necessarily getting the job, it's keeping the job. So just having a team or somebody you can kind of lean on for some questions of, okay, this is my first day, what should I expect? What should I not ask? So again, that ongoing support from the centers. And then you might get the job and then decide this isn't what you want. Like maybe I need to, pivot and look at another industry. We're still there to work with you through that. And then obviously, lastly, a big thing that we offer for some individuals, depending if you qualify for some of our programs, is we can possibly pay for trainings. So an example would be occupational skills training. So, going back in your CDLA B license, just an example. I guess, and I get through a lot of information at you. I think the best thing to do is to just visit one of our centers. If you can, give us a call ahead of time so you make an appointment so you can get that one-on-one approach, because sometimes it does get busy in our centers. But if you can't, that's fine. If you can just walk in, we definitely take walk-ins, or you can do the virtual if you want. But we have the map here. It has all of our locations with the addresses. And Mike is going to post this slide, so you'll be able to get the address and figure out which center is closest to you. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at one of our centers. So thanks again for the time. And Mike, I'll let you go ahead and take it.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Kellen. I'm going to stop sharing here for a second and turn it over to David Hunn. David Hunn is he is the executive director for Virginia CareerWorks for the Northern region, and will provide a little bit more insight for you as well.
Great, Mike. Thanks so much. Thank you, Kellen. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for hanging in there with us. So our organization covers the entire region that Mike has described tonight. Fairfax County, Prince William County, Loudoun County, and we work very closely with the team that Kellen represents as well within the county of Fairfax. I'm going to call up our website for your reference, that you can see if you are a dislocated federal worker and contractor, we have a specific page for you that you can go to. Our website is vcwnorthern.com. You'll see a variety of skills, opportunities, as well as resources that I'm going to speak briefly to tonight. One thing that Kel and I have wanted to emphasize throughout our conversation is that all of our services are free. We are a public service. We are available to you when you're ready for the work that we can provide for you. If you were to click through this website, though, on our website, you'll notice that we have categorized a lot of the different services that we can provide under available resources. If any of you need help with continuing your health insurance, or need help with submitting your taxes either to the federal or state government, even if you have household expense needs that you might need some support, we're trying to give you some opportunities to reach out to agencies within your jurisdiction that would be of great benefit to you. For those of you on this call that might need to apply for unemployment, we have multiple different bullets here. There's a fact sheet. You'll notice that there's a YouTube video, roughly 2 to 3 minutes, that the Virginia Employment Commission has placed online. They've developed it specifically for displaced federal workers and how to go about applying for unemployment should you be in that situation to do so. And you'll see different links as well to not only the Virginia Employment Commission, but also the Maryland Division of Unemployment, as well as the District of Columbia Office of Unemployment. Of course, if you are a federal employee, if you do live in Virginia, but your work is based in the District of Columbia and you do need to apply for unemployment, you would apply through the District of Columbia. You apply for where your duty station is based. The same would be true if you're working in Maryland as well. The other page that I'd like to just briefly share with you, it'll supplement what Kellen just provided. These are the centers within the Virginia CareerWorks network, and you'll notice the phone numbers as well as the address, as well as the operating hours. Kellen's advice was to call ahead to make sure that you can make an appointment ahead of time, but we're always open to walk-in traffic as well, should that be more convenient for you. When you walk in the door at any of these centers, you'll find multiple walk-up computers with high-speed internet that you're able to use at your convenience and would be able to then be a resource for you if you don't have that resource at your own home. I'm going to go ahead and stop the sharing. Mike, I think that covers it for us. I'll turn it back to you to wrap things up.
Thank you, David. Appreciate that. So we'll just wrap with this last slide here, just from a resource standpoint. I just want to thank you all for attending. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box now. We'll try to see if we can answer those for you. But know that everything we just shared, including the site that David just shared, is on workinnorthernvirginia.com/get-hired. That's get-hired. That right there is where you can get to everything we've just shared. We're going to post this this deck. It's out there. The recording's out there. Sign up to the newsletter that's on there so that you can stay current. We can let you know about events, networking events, hiring events that are out there. There's a lot going on. They're on that site as well. We're here for you. We just want to leave you that we're here for you. There are a lot of resources. There are a lot of jobs, and we really appreciate you spending about 30 minutes or so with us this evening. And please go there. Please come to our centers, and we wish you the best, and please stay in touch. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.